What is a common size income statement? Well, a common size income statement is just an income statement in which each line is expressed as a percentage of total revenue. This is a type of vertical analysis. So now I'm going to show you how you would do that. Remember, we said that each line is expressed as a percent of total revenue. If we look at total revenue, that means we are going to take each line and divide it by total revenue. So our first line is total revenue is 15,000. So we divide that by 15,000, we get 100%. So that line is what we call our baseline. So our total revenue is our base. The next one we're going to go to, again, we're computing each line of the income statement and expressing it as a percentage of total revenue. The one thing you need to remember is you need to follow instructions as far as how far to take out decimals. If it tells you to take it out 1 decimal place, then you're going to do that as we see here. If it tells you 2 decimal places, you're going to have 2 numbers on the right side of the decimal place. So just make sure that you're aware of it. So for sales, we're going to take sales of 10,000 divided by our total revenue of 15,000. If we do that math, we're going to get 66.7%. So sales represents 66.7% of the total revenue. We are going to do this for each line. So if we look at consulting revenue, we are taking 5,000 divided by that same base, that total revenues of 15,000. And it's going to come out to 33.3%. So if we add them up, we do get 100%, and that's what we should see. We continue on to the next line of the income statement, and we're going to see that expenses. We have 3 different expenses listed here, and you can do this with any income statement. The key is that every line that's in your income statement, at least down to net income, is what you're going to use in the common size income statement. It has the same lines as your income statement that's being presented. You're just converting those dollars into percentages. So here for cost of sales, which is an expense, we're going to take 2,300. Again, we're dividing it by that total revenues. So in this case, we get 15.3%. Our next expense is rent expense, and we have 2,100, and we're going to take 2,100 divided by that same $15,000. And we're going to get an even 14%. Then we are going to take supplies expense of 1,500 divided by 15,000, and we're going to come out to an even 10%. We can do the same thing with total expenses. We have 5,900 divided by 15,000, and we get 39.3%. And then for our last one, we have net income. We're going to take that 9,100 divided by 15,000 again. So we get 60.7%. And we can see that if we were doing our numbers, we would take revenues minus expenses to give us net income. So if we do the same thing with our percentages, 100% total revenues minus total expenses of 39.3% gives us net income of 60.7%. So that's one way that you can check your math to make sure it's correct. A couple times you may see that rounding could play an effect. So if you rounded up one number, it could be off by 0.1%, and that's okay. You just want to try to get as close as you can, but the key is really important to make sure that you follow whatever rules are set in place. So if it tells you 1 decimal place, 2, or 0, make sure you follow that instruction. I hope this helps clarify what a common size income statement looks like. Thank you.